the exercise bike suddenly came loose, and she suffered a violent impact. To maintain her dignity, she endured the intense pain and left the gym with a straight face. Her brand new workout pants were torn on the spot. That day she walked into a clothing store to pick out clothes. The salesperson greeted her warmly, thinking she was shopping for a friend. When they learned that Sarah was shopping for herself, the salesperson turned and walked away. The store didn't carry sizes that would fit her body type. Whenever she saw her bulky figure in the mirror, her mood would hit rock bottom. Sarah longed to have a perfect body, but her reflection showed nothing but excess weight. Sarah returned to the gym again. She deliberately lowered her voice, hoping the front desk would prepare a pair of wide-fit sneakers for her, but the front desk loudly asked a colleague about it. The embarrassed Sarah wished she could disappear into the ground. By chance, she came to the main office to submit a report to the receptionist. There she met Emma, a woman who combined beauty and talent. She greatly envied the receptionist position, where one could meet many fashionable people and things daily. She also learned that the company was hiring new reception staff. Sarah felt drawn to this position, but thinking of her appearance, she dismissed the idea. That day she encountered a beautiful woman from the gym at a department store. She took the initiative to greet her. A man suddenly appeared and asked her a question. On the surface, he was asking about the location of soap, but actually he wanted to get the beautiful woman's contact information. The beauty politely declined. Sarah greatly envied this kind of experience, which she had never had. But for the beauty, this was already commonplace. Sarah came to the gym again. This time she adjusted all the connecting parts to ensure the previous accident wouldn't happen again. The instructor appeared, motivating every student. Sarah was filled with passion to pursue her ideal figure. She pedaled the bike so hard it nearly started smoking. However, this time she used too much force. Her foot slipped, and she fell heavily to the ground. When she woke up, she found her arms had become so slender. Her thighs had also become very proportioned, and even the excess fat on her abdomen had disappeared. It was as if she had been enchanted by magic. Of course, all of this was her illusion. From that day on, Sarah became incredibly confident. A gentleman opened a door for her, and she actively walked through it, thinking it was opened specifically for her. Construction workers' whistles were interpreted by her as flirtation. She turned around and blew them a kiss back, leaving the workers completely puzzled. She came to headquarters, facing the beautiful models. Sarah submitted her job application. She had never been so confident before. That day Sarah met a man at the dry cleaner. She kindly helped him get a number. The man politely asked Sarah what number she was. She mistook this as him asking for her phone number. She then took out her phone and entered her number into his contacts. Sarah's interview arrived. The supervisor felt her appearance didn't fit the job, but Sarah's enthusiasm and ambition moved Emma. Just like that, Sarah became the company's receptionist. She thoughtfully prepared a refrigerator and warmly welcomed every visitor. The confident and cheerful Sarah was noticed by Emma again. In the afternoon, Sarah came to the conference room to deliver water. She accidentally knocked over the leader's makeup compact, which changed the trajectory of her life. She crawled under the table to pick up the compact. After searching for a long time, she couldn't find the makeup brush. The CEO told her there was no brush inside at all. Sarah awkwardly stood up to leave but was stopped by the CEO. The company's products never came with brushes. This showed her lack of understanding about the company's products. Sarah explained she thought this new product aimed at the mid to low-end market might have one, but in fact, she was overthinking. Unexpectedly, Emma wanted her to share her opinion. Sarah spoke frankly. High-end products requiring the separate purchase of expensive brushes was understandable, but ordinary girls usually do their makeup on the way to work. If they open an expensive makeup compact only to find no tools to use it with, they would choose to abandon this brand. Sarah, who came from the bottom of society, impressed Emma. From then on, Emma would often come to find Sarah. This time she sought Sarah's opinion about arranging new product promotion staff in the mall. Facing her boss, Sarah didn't dare say much, but she could see this arrangement seemed somewhat inappropriate. Emma humbly asked for advice, saying if she had any thoughts, please tell her. Sarah shared her inner thoughts. Actually, those beautiful promoters would make girls keep their distance. They would feel threatened, sensing that no matter how they did their makeup, it would be a waste of time. Emma felt like a failure. Sarah comforted her, saying she was the goal Sarah aspired to reach, but even the company's CEO would feel insecure. Her baby voice had always been her concern. To show her gratitude, Emma invited her to attend the evening party. Just like that, Sarah contacted the man she met at the laundromat, Ethan. Actually, this was already their second meeting. At their first meeting, Sarah had opened his eyes. She saw a bikini contest at the bar and immediately lifted her shirt to participate. Ethan was not much of a talker. Seeing Sarah go on stage with all that excess weight, wouldn't she just be laughed at? However, Sarah on stage was full of energy. Although she had no physical advantages, her incomparable enthusiasm won cheers from the entire audience. Ethan was also infected by Sarah's confidence. At this meeting, he expressed his view of Sarah. In his opinion, The woman before him was perfect, even without an angel's face or a devil's figure. Ethan saw confidence in her. She didn't care about others' opinions and stayed true to herself. He was completely attracted to the woman before him. That evening she brought Ethan to the party. Unexpectedly, the so-called party was just a family dinner. Due to Sarah's outstanding performance, Emma's grandmother hoped she could assist her granddaughter. They would go to Boston together for promotion. Because the granddaughter's background might prevent her from connecting with ordinary customers, Sarah agreed and boarded the company's private jet. Emma seemed somewhat disoriented, probably having taken some medication. She arranged a position for Sarah as assistant manager. It turned out that Emma, in places others couldn't see, would also feel down. She had long been unable to gain her grandmother's recognition, but facing Sarah, she still gave her what she deserved. After arriving in Boston, Sarah began working. At this time, Emma's brother came. He deliberately approached Sarah. This man saw Sarah's uniqueness. She didn't expect to win his favor. Sarah suddenly realized his intentions and pushed him out of the room. She went to the bathroom and turned on the shower to calm herself down. She hit her head against the glass and fainted. When she woke up, she found she had missed the time. Sarah came downstairs and met her former colleague. In the mirror, she saw she had returned to her original appearance. Sarah's confidence vanished completely. She gave the speech script to her colleague, asking him to pass it to Emma. Then she just left like that. Sarah returned home and looked at herself. Back to normal, she began to give up on herself again. Emma asked her to participate in the next promotion, but Sarah, who had lost her confidence, refused the job. She didn't have the courage to face her boyfriend either, but she could hide for a while. Not forever. That evening Ethan invited her to dinner. She could only bite the bullet and come to the restaurant. Seeing Ethan, she immediately hid. Sarah went to the bar area. Ethan happened to look in this direction, and the two made eye contact for a second. Sarah thought he hadn't recognized her. She then texted saying she was still working overtime. Ethan didn't know what Sarah was up to. He came to the bar, pretending it was their first meeting. He played along with Sarah's act, saying he was waiting for his girlfriend. Sarah curiously asked Ethan what his girlfriend was like. She wanted to know Ethan's opinion of her. Ethan said very seriously that she was beautiful, funny, and smart. Getting her was something he was very proud of. But Sarah didn't know Ethan was talking about her. The more he said this, the more insecure Sarah became. She turned and left the restaurant. Outside, she suggested they break up. Low self-esteem was the reason this relationship ended. She tried returning to the gym, wanting to recreate the miracle that happened that day, but this time nothing happened. Before leaving, she found the beautiful woman crying. How could a woman with a hot figure and attractive looks be crying? It turned out she had broken up. Sarah thought it must be the other person who troubled her. However, she was actually the one who got dumped. Sarah couldn't believe it. She began comforting her, listing all the obvious advantages she had. Both of their moods improved considerably. Coincidentally, she was going to interview for a model position at Sarah's company next. It seemed the product launch had reached its final stage. Sarah made a decision. She called her former colleague and snuck into the backstage of the launch event with him. Emma described the company's development history. Her slightly childish baby voice sounded lacking in confidence and a bit nervous. Suddenly the lights went out. Emma walked toward the backstage, not knowing what to do. At this time, her colleague cooperated by turning on the lights. That woman appeared. She projected her photos on the big screen. Her charismatic self when working as a receptionist, and her former ordinary self. The audience was stunned. Wasn't this the same person? When they turned back to look at that charismatic woman, they realized she was the same person as the ordinary woman. Sarah finally understood. There was no magic at all. The two people in the photos were completely the same person, just with different mindsets. This ended a perfect speech. She walked to the backstage. Emma didn't blame her, but instead hoped she would come back and join the company's mental health program. Grandmother was happy about the success of the launch. Emma thought it was Sarah's achievement, but grandmother said without you, Sarah wouldn't have appeared here. This was the first time Emma was recognized by her grandmother. Sarah gathered courage to find Ethan. Her incoherent appearance made Ethan feel very affectionate toward her. She came outside, without needing many words. He loved the girl right in front of him.